outskirts of a market town, the sort they no longer build. There's a snaking road called Barb's Belt where time is often killed. The bright idea is some chattering pier when London overspilled. Where the shit is in the details, the quality of the hops, the sad state of the pavement, the attitude of cops, the streaks of piss outside Londis, the barn eggs in the shop. The kind of place on which the Mail is keen to give its view and say, society is broken and there's nothing we can do. They're overfed, look, white bread and not a single bugaboo, and perhaps something is broken. Or certainly on the skids. Misfortune stalks the residents with the patience of a kid. They'd joke that they were born there for something they never did. If you can't laugh, what can you do? Their humour black as oil. Throw in some domestic abuse, season, hard boil, and a splash of Shannon Matthews and a pinch of Danny Boyle. And at number 34 there lives a bloke they know as Barlow. Tracky bums like dungarees, the tragedy of Marlow, the face that sunk 1,000 chips. You'd see him down the Spa though, no one ever spoke to him. They say the man was cursed. He moved like he was dragging the heavy hearty nurse. There are many rumours about his life, but I'll share with you the worst. See, Barlow was brought up on Barb's Belt with his little sister Betty, in the sodium light of the television, motionless on the settee. The family portraits filed somewhere under poverty on Getty. Their dad, a Marlon Brando, in an Ipswich town awake here, a mad thirst for the whiskey bottle and an itch to slake it. I mean, you could take it or leave it, but he'd sooner take it, then give it back out again. You smelled him approaching. He batted Brenda, his wife, so bad, something was always broken, so miserable, yet so cliched. Far too Ken Loachian. But that old Brando didn't last like many short and feck. These men who dole out promises as useless as their cheques. They found him dead in a ditch in Diss, a pint glass in his neck, on the last weekend of summer, as yellow grass went white, as summer turned to winter, and daylight turned to night, and seemed to ask their partners, are you sure you'll be alright? But as Brenda's buddy Bruce's healed, misfortune came to call. Well, trick or treat's more accurate. It was just some kids from school. It was just some kids with too much time. But kids can be so cruel. What started out as garden hopping soon built rapidly to broken panes and nasty names, and Brenda, recently emancipated, wouldn't take it the least bit easily. But the more she chased them with her mop, the more the thing was sport, for lads with nothing else to do and no wars to be fought. An hour of fun outweighed the threat of juvenile court. From a phone box, these cocksure jocks would call and play a pawn, would just for fun jump her son and leave his school shirt torn, left her in pieces with human feces neatly curled up on the lawn, wrote cunt, bitch, whore on her front door, parked their Novas up outside, played Ministry of Sound with the windows down till Brenda's children cried, screamed at each other, screamed at their mother, conquer and divide. And these lads left her hysterical as she phoned for the police. Madam, please stop your expletives or we'll have you for breach of peace. They'd come round every month or so and mouth their flaccid speech about doing everything they could with limited resources. How the boys were harmless scallywags, victims of divorces. How any day they would be sent on citizenship courses. But Brenda Burton was on fire, dry retching in the flames. Her filthy lungs stuffed up with soot, blood boiling in her veins. Half paralysed with bloodshot eyes, on Barb's Belt she remained for 10 long years and burned in fear until her heart was cold. As the lads passed on their batons, used her window panes as goals, a garden shed for getting head, a porch as toilet bowl, and still the cops would and refused poor Brenda help as more and more delinquents were dumped upon Barb's Belt and learned the local sport of making Brenda Burton yelp and scream and cry and spit and bawl, her son as punching bag, a home as souped up bus shelter, her daughter as a slag, a misery, a consolation prize for the wretched hand they had. We never got a fucking thing, so why the fuck should you? We never got a fucking thing, so why the fuck should you? We never got a fucking thing, so why the fuck should you? Till Brenda, burning in her skin, you she could take no more. The depravity of the dispossessed, the limpness of the law, so grabbing Betty by the hand, she burst through her front door, then right there on the driveway, she locked them in the car, she doused them both in petrol, their screams heard from afar, awful, shrill like a dentist drill, so dreadful and bizarre, awful, shrill like a dentist drill, they screamed up to the stars, awful, shrill like a dentist drill, it hung there like a scar, awful, shrill like a dentist drill, and the sky turned black as tar. And watching from the front window, froze as the spot, Barlow, the boy she didn't take, so wrote him out the plot. Denied his chance of ashes, he was left behind to rot on the outskirts of a market town, the sort they no longer build, on a snaky road called Barb's Belt, where time is often killed. A bright idea of some chattering beer from London overspilled.